This is another episode of Live from Ox City. Oxnard.
Yes, it is.
Oxnard is getting a very special new treat. Called the Red Robin Inn. Or no, Red Robin.
Red Door
Door.
Escape Room
Red Door Escape Room. That's what I meant.
in the collection,
Yeah.
which should be cool.
That's the biggest
I don't
news. That's the most positive news, by the way, of what's
think...
what's going on this week.
I don't think there's one nearby, is there?
I don't think a Red Robin or Red Door, but I think there is another escape room. There was one in Ventura, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? You went to it?
Yeah. No, I heard about it. I have spoken to people who escaped from it.
Escaped from it. Have you ever been to one?
No. I've never been to an escape room, but I have done those, like they're like the haunted house things. They have...
Not the same.
There's like people who scare you. They jump out and scare you. And...
Not the same.
Yeah, but it's
not the same.
No.
I'm telling you. You're just following a path at the fair and they're jumping out. Yeah, no, it's not the same.
No, but the one that I went to was different.
And
the one that I went to was different.
Where was
it was in LA, and there were people in there, like actors, and you had to choose people, like you were part of the whole experience thing. So they like take one person and then go take them into this room, and they'd feed it all into the same storyline, but they had like special effects and actors and stuff with it. So it wasn't like your typical, Universal Studios, Halloween Horror Nights thing that they do. It was more of an interactive thing, but it's definitely not. It wasn't the high end or the far end extreme things where they make you sign some consent form and then they jam your face down in a toilet, or make you reach and puke and shit. Because those places exist too.
Really?
Wasn't one of those. Oh,
I've
absolutely.
Never seen one of those.
No, there's definitely places that are like it's halfway like assault what they do to people in there. Like they have you.
Those are the ones where you just follow a line, right? You just like following.
I don't think that kind is. I think that kind is more escape room mixed with like weird, weird leather.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about with the.
Yeah, maybe I'm just making it up. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? An escape room. Yeah, an escape room is a really good first date. Because
why is that?
you could see
how they do in a panic situation.
How they operate.
Or I guess
how smart they are.
Turn it into a panic situation.
Yeah, that's a bunch of stuff. Like how smart they are, how like how witty they are in a situation, how much arguing is going on.
Yeah. See
how much fight in the dog.
What kind of performance are you expecting? Like what?
Well, I'm only checking the other person's wit and their abilities and their savvy, pretty much, because then you kind of see, all right, well, I'm not the smartest dude, but is this person smarter than me, or
would you like for them to be
smarter? Or am I going to have to?
Is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
If they're
you always
want
to be. You never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Right. Unless you're in kindergarten, you're in a room full of children.
if you're in kindergarten and you're the smartest person in the room, there's a problem with that school.
What do you mean if I'm not?
If you're the smartest person in kindergarten as a kindergartner and you're the smartest person in the room, there's a problem with that school. The teacher's like, so how do you do this? Yeah, that's
Look
a
here, it's on
problem.
YouTube.
But nah, no, I'm just saying the escape room is a really good indication of like what's to come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, but you've never done one before, right?
Oh, I've done a bunch, yeah. Not a
Oh,
bunch.
escape
I've done
rooms?
like, yeah, I've done like 2 or 3.
So what's the
Yeah.
they just put you in there and then
So
say go
I
for it?
mean, you volunteer to go in there, yes.
Right, right.
It's not
They don't just capture you
prison.
and put you in there?
Yeah, yeah. It's not jail. So they take you like you. I think there's like, well, the ones that I've been to, there's multiple like quests or like rooms or adventures or whatever you want to call these things,
Yeah.
and you got to solve like clues or whatever, and they have different themes, I guess. So each one is different. But yeah, it was. Some of them are pretty fun. Some of them are kind of like lame, but that I've been to. But yeah,
And
it'll
it's
be
just you
interesting.
and like a group of people, like
So the one I went to was a like a larger group of people. Like one had, I think, maybe 6 people, and then one was just me and a friend, and then one it was just me and another. Like it was just 2 people on the other two times that I went.
okay. So there's not really like a certain number of people that you're
I
supposed to do
think
it with.
I think it depends on. I think it depends on like the room, depends on like the time of day, like all that goes into it.
Yeah.
Like they probably have like large group rooms or one like I don't know. I'm not sure, but I just know that when I went, like there was only one time that there was like a large group of people and everyone was trying to figure out what was going on,
And there's no
but yeah.
like interaction with people like actors. They don't jump out and scare you.
Nah, not at the ones I went to.
Oh.
Not at the ones I went to. It's just like a puzzle, like pretty much. Like what do
Okay.
you like find this key, like stuff like that.
If you're the one who solves the puzzle and you're on a date, do you feel like that guarantees sex?
Nah, it's a group effort. It's a collaborative effort. We don't we don't.
But you kind of want to dominate everybody a
I
little
don't
bit,
feel
right?
entitled. I don't feel entitled after a win. I don't feel like
Yeah, but
it's a team game. You know.
right. There's no I in team, but there's a penis in team.
Yo, what the? Whatever. I mean, that's if that's what you think, go for it. I was not expecting that, but nah, but it'll be cool. It'll be interesting. It's gonna be in the collection. Um, I think right next to the comedy club.
Yeah, Liberty Live.
Yeah, I think right next to like across from there or whatever. I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
right there.
I was
So.
over there in the collection last weekend and we went to Lazy Dog
Mm-hmm.
and I was sitting there eating my food and people next to us. I mean, there was a ton of dogs there. A bunch of people had dogs. And so
And they
are
were
you not
lazy.
familiar with that?
Not familiar with what? Dogs?
That people bring dogs to Lazy Dog?
I didn't know that.
You
I'm
didn't
not
know?
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know that.
I could tell.
Oh, is that a real? Yo,
Yeah.
what the?
So
Okay.
you thought I was just making it up.
Wait. Okay. What's the one in Thousand Oaks at the mall? Is that Lazy Dog also? Right next to the theater?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I never seen a dog in that motherfucker.
But that one's I think that one does have an outdoor, but they don't let dogs inside, I don't think, which is still kind
Oh,
of
okay.
racist
Okay, so you're
if you
talking
ask
about
me.
like racist? So are you talking about like outside of the place?
Yeah, in the like the little
Yes.
outside area. You're still not
Oh,
with it,
I'm
right?
very curious to see if that's just an Oxnard thing.
It's definitely not. No, that's like
You've
their
been to an
thing.
Have you ever been to another lazy dog?
No, but they have like paw prints all over the menus and stuff.
Right,
And they play Airbud on the TV as you eat your food.
right. I mean, I mean, Forrest Gump's all over Bubba Gumps, but you don't see Tom Hanks in that motherfucker. Okay, so there was okay. So you went to Lazy Dog.
Yeah, and we sat outside, and I mean, probably half of the tables had dogs and people, but the like the table right next to us had a dog, and it was just sitting right there, like we were eating our food, and he was sitting looking up at me. I pet him a few times, or him or her or whatever. I felt like maybe you wouldn't be
What do
down
you
with that
pet him?
experience.
Pet the
No,
dog?
yeah.
Why would I not pet the dog? All right, hold on. How far are you from the dog? Because
I mean,
that's a
with
big.
within arm's length, that's for
Okay,
sure.
then yeah, why not? Yeah, if you're within that arm's length, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
you're
not.
saying like if you're gonna run 30 yards over there and like,
Yeah, I'm not getting up and pacing to go to the dog and pet it and
yeah,
then
yeah,
going back sit
yeah.
down. But yeah,
But
if the
if there's
dog,
a
if
dog,
it's within,
if it's
uh,
next to you, if its face is next to you while you're eating your food, you're not gonna have a problem with that.
um, so that's another thing because my one of our family dogs is a husky and it used to put its face in my lap and it was kind of annoying. So I used to just kind of like push it away, like chill. And but nah, yeah, I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. Um, but yeah, I was wondering. I just didn't know how close the dog was to be petting. If it's
Yeah,
right within arm's distance, yeah, of course. Why not?
yeah, it was super close, and there's
Okay.
tons of dogs everywhere.
What kind of dog?
It was like a German Shepherd or something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Cool.
we ate at Lazy Dog and then walked over, and there was a farmer's market, or at least it said that there was a farmer's market. It was pretty small, I think.
What do you?
Over there in the
Wait.
collection too.
You said at least they said there
Doing
was.
what?
You said at least they said there was a farmers market, or it said there was a farm.
Oh, because the sign said farmer's market, but
You said
as we
at
got
least
up
it
there,
said there
we
was a
really didn't
farmers
see
market.
many farmers or markets. But in that in that area there,
Got it.
well, first of all, have
Okay.
you ever been to a farmer's market? Yeah, I figure that's probably where you get most of your stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not sure what category it falls into. I don't know.
Nah, nah, stuff. Like it's not food. Um, like I get shirts and clothes there, shoes. Nah, yeah, I don't go very often, but for
Yeah.
sure, been to the farmers
Well, there wasn't
markets
one. It didn't
before
look like there was a very big one,
because
so don't get
yeah,
excited by
it's like
that.
the healthiest food you can get. Mm. I
Yeah,
won't. I won't. So
it's
you
cool, except
you
for when you
enjoyed your
get a
lazy
dog
dog
that's like
experience? I did
a
not know
problem
that there was
dog,
a bunch of
you know,
dogs outside of Lazy Dog. I'm not gonna
like
lie.
barking a bunch and ruining
That's
everybody's
crazy to
meal,
me.
you know, and then that's not good. That's a bad situation.
Yeah.
I
Right.
I
Do they
think
have like
that there
special
might be. I think that there's like some
like
kind of,
catering to the
you
dog?
know,
Is there
puppy
any sort
meal
of thing
or
that they encourage
something like
dogs
that.
to
I think
come
there's
through?
even no, they don't serve dog ice cream there, but there's like ice cream places that if you go with a dog, then you can get like a dog ice cream kind of thing, I think. I'm not sure. It's a lot. No, no, no. I don't know. No. Yeah. Um
So you don't know.
in other
Okay. Got it.
news, the Clippers signed Kawhi to what? To a 4 5 year $76 billion. Yeah.
No, he got 4 years. 100. I think it was like 173
S-
or
s-
176. Um, and I
Did you
think he
ever
has a
find out,
player
or
option
did
on the
it come
last
out that
year,
they had some kind of beef,
which aligns
like with the
with Paul
medical
George.
stuff? Was that real, or was that just fake news?
Who knows? It didn't come out that it was real. I mean, why? Why would he sign if he did have beef?
He sounds pretty happy there. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, and
Yeah,
what about
so he's
your
laughing all the way to the bank with that laugh.
guy
Yeah,
getting traded?
yeah. So
Pat Bev.
my guy, this my guy,
Yeah.
my guy.
Him and
Oh,
Rondo.
oh, the guy who never played, who rarely played. Yeah,
That's a
he was
that
good.
if I'm looking at that, that's win-win to
I'm
me
glad
from the
Rondo got
Clippers
traded.
perspective.
He didn't do anything for us. He
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm mad they let go of Lou Williams and they got like half playoff Rondo. Like he was trash. And then Lou Williams won a couple games for them in the playoffs, Atlanta. So
Yeah. So
so yeah, I was happy they got rid of Rondo. Pat Bev, he was definitely like
foul guy.
it's just he's not available. He's definitely like a culture dude and like energy guy, and he's one of those guys that man, he is one of the worst in the league at certain point. He got a little bit better at for a stretch, for like a year and a half stretch, but he
Yes.
is a terrible, those we know this,
No,
that
he's
it's a
almost the
skill not to
opposite though,
foul.
too.
He he does not have that skill.
Yeah.
He is he's one of the he's one of the worst at
Sure.
that thing. Like in my mind, I don't know why Ron
They
Artest comes
just
to mind.
can't turn
Um,
off.
but
They can't turn off or
there's
turn
certain
down the
players that it's just
volume
like
on their,
again, like you
like
stay
just
fouling.
dial it back a little bit. Like they'll get the ball, like they'll get the ball
Yeah.
handler kind of frustrated or, off balance or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, just stop. Just chill out. Yeah. and then they just
Yeah. And then they have to just
they hit him
tackle.
with the Westbrook.
Yeah, for sure.
That's Pat Bev on defense.
Yeah. Absolutely. How you cross yourself over on defense? Like, no one's guard. You're not like, huh? You know, yeah. One of the people that comes to mind that was really good at
Yeah.
that skill to
Yeah.
not fouling was Lamar Odom. I remember he was like really good, like interior defender at not fouling. Um, Same with Powell, pretty much. But but yeah, you get it's yeah, you had those moments, of course, with
The
Pat
end of his
Beverly.
Clipper
His last
legacy.
moment with the Clippers was pushing Chris Paul in the back. uh Shout to Louis. I was telling
That
him
was
that
the last thing they saw on tape.
that
And they're
that
just
they
watching
looked
it
at
over and
that and
over
they're
again.
like, nah, we're not rocking with you no
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, but sometimes there are those dudes though, like that. That's kind of what they have to
Yeah,
offer is just
yeah.
energy.
But
You
I
know?
mean, he's one of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
and energy and like a culture
What
setter.
are they
Like you
paying
look
him?
at Udonis Haslam, they just re-signed him again, like for another
What's the
season.
vet minimum?
He's
Is it
40.
like
He's like 41 years old.
do you even make $1
I
million
think it was 2 million or something real
for the
low,
vet minimum?
something like 2 or 4.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah.
It's who? Yeah, for sure. At this point in the league, um, but he's one of those guys. Like I think Pat Riley
Yeah.
came out with like a statement saying like we're lucky to have him back. He's like this is his team. He is Miami, like stuff
He's
like that.
more
Like
respect than
certain
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
obviously UD is not. He's more respect. He's more respected than Pat Bev.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need like identity guys. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see who does that for the Clippers.
No,
I
he's
know
not, man.
Dennis Schroeder is not there anymore for the
Yeah,
Lakers to be
I
that.
sent that GIF or meme or whatever to you and Louis, the one where he's on Deal or No Deal, right? And he's like, look, they open up the briefcase and it's what was it? 1 year, 5.9, and he turned down
Schroeder. Oh yeah.
4 years, 84 from the Lakers, an extension for 4 years, 84. That hurts. That's a
Yeah. That's tough, man. Very, very
yeah.
tough.
I'm not rooting against him
So
just because
hopefully he does his
for the
thing
Lakers,
and he gets another contract,
or just because it
stuff,
didn't
but
work out with the Lakers, I guess.
I don't see it happening. Yeah.
It's just, man, you see guys kind of bet on themselves and then it works out,
Right.
and it's a really cool story, like Dak Prescott. He kind of had his contract thing and was like, I want to bet on myself and kind of win the job or whatever, and he did. And that's a cool story. Okay, yeah, but so like that happens. But even when the whole contract
I didn't know that.
extension, when that was offered by the Lakers, I remember thinking, like, that is generous for him, and he hasn't really done much for you yet. The same offer?
I think Montrezl Harrell had the same thing.
Oh, okay, yeah,
with the Clippers. No, not the same offer, but the same scenario, but no one's talking about it. He had it with the Clippers like a couple years ago, and I think he did the same thing, like, oh, I'm betting on myself type of deal. Which I mean, you can't. I mean, with the money that they're giving out now, and it just keeps going up. It seems like it's you can't. For a younger guy like them, even though what's his name? Dennis Schroeder.
Oh yeah,
man,
I think so.
his greatest comeback was his hairline. I don't know if you've seen that dude when he was with Atlanta.
You think that was somebody messed up on him? Somebody got
he's
an
already made a
oopsie
comeback
moment
from
on him.
that, so I think he's gonna do just fine with. Oh
Oh,
no,
oh.
you see
I mean, I
different
thought he had the
jerseys
same
with that.
thing,
You see
or it was just
different
higher,
home
maybe.
and away jerseys with that hairline.
Yeah, he had the same thing with the Lakers, right? He had his like little.
Eh, what now?
Okay,
Nah, he had
okay.
nah, he had a crispy hair. His hairline is Steve Harvey esque. Uh, and yeah, whatever happened,
Yeah.
he
A moral of
came
the
back from
story
that.
is,
So I think
if you have an
he'll be
opportunity to
fine.
make money and you have to bet on yourself,
He's come
or
back
you
from
choose
worse.
to bet on
So
yourself to try to make more money, don't, because you'll fail and you won't make as much money.
nah, 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 nah. Nah, no, I think he will. I think he'll make some. I think he'll still make he'll get a good contract
Yeah.
because in Boston, I think he's gonna do his thing in Boston. The lights aren't as bright. Um, he doesn't have these superstars around him, so
Yeah.
that means more opportunities as
No,
well.
he's not. No, he's not
And I
going to
think
be.
he'll,
But
get a nice contract, but I don't know if he'll
yeah,
get the same.
there was
He
a
won't be hurting.
documentary that just
He
came
won't
out
be
on
hurting.
Netflix about the Malice at the Palace,
Yeah,
and Steven Jackson talks about just it sucks losing that much money,
yeah, I want to see
because they
that.
missed. I think he got suspended for 30 games. Um, and if you don't know what the Malice at the Palace is, which some people don't, which I thought was crazy, but uh, it was, I can't remember what year it was, but it was Pistons, Pacers, the year after the Pistons had won the NBA the championship, and they had beaten the Pacers, I think, in the Eastern Conference Finals to get to the finals, and so they had a rematch the year after, and it just got heated to a certain point, and then somebody threw something on Ron Artest, and he ran up into the crowd, and the rest is history. Google Malice at the Palace if you haven't seen that, uh, but Steven Jackson got fined or suspended for 30 games. And so you imagine the kind of money that he missed out on for being suspended for that long has got to be crazy. Well, Artest got suspended
Yeah,
for
for
the entire
sure.
season.
Was
So
he
he's
got the
done for the
largest
rest of the
fine?
season.
I mean, the largest
But
suspension?
he didn't really talk about it like, oh, I
I
missed out
thought
on
Ron
all that
Artest did.
money. But Steven Jackson was like
Right. Yeah.
upset about missing out on the money. He made that
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that there was something between Ben Wallace
That's not what
and
they. That's not what they said. It was that
Ron
Ben
Artest
Wallace.
that kind of
He said
sparked
that
the
he
little
had recently
push
lost his brother,
because that's what
so he
happened.
was kind of just in a different kind of headspace. And then Ron Artest was like at the point where he didn't even really want to play. I don't think he was
Okay.
kind of over it, and he wanted to get traded or not play or something. Like he was going through a whole different thing, you know. Um, and so that happened, but from what I remembered it as,
Yeah.
that the
Got it.
punches or whatever started on the court. Like that's always how I remembered it. But then watching this, documentary, I I realized that
Mm-mm.
not a punch was thrown until somebody threw something out of the stands. And that's when our test went up there. Like they weren't fighting on the court. They were kind of like de-escalating the situation, and then our test lies down on the scores table, and that's when they throw the thing. And then that's when it sets off. but they framed it kind of differently.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember. I think I was in
Oh, wow.
Vegas or something. For some reason I feel like I was in Vegas, but I remember watching it live. And yeah, I remember
Yeah.
watching that live, and it was like, okay. And it just kept going on and on and on.
Yeah,
And
like,
the
this is a
announcers were
black
kind of
eye for
awkward.
the
They were like,
NBA.
"This is despicable," or whatever they kept saying. Like, this is a bad display or whatever. And they would every
Yeah.
shot, e- yeah, every sort of like camera angle was like something bad. Like when they from the first part where he kind of
Yeah.
he pushes him, and then they get I think they were gonna tee him up or whatever, and then he was
Yeah.
like he went to
They
lay
threw
down, and then
chairs.
jumping into the stands, and then you see where when they were leaving, they were
Yeah,
throwing
oh my
beer on
god.
him. Remember that? Yeah,
So,
they were throwing chairs. Jermaine O'Neal with the punch.
well, that was that
That
was
guy just
Jermaine O'Neal.
jumped out in front of
So,
him
like,
though. Who was the guy who? No, was it who was that? Oh, it was
yeah,
Ron
but I'm
Artest.
telling you,
There was okay, but he does the sliding punch thing where he
that's the same
slipped,
guy.
but there was someone
It was the same guy.
who just like jumps out of nowhere and is like, "I'm here to fight you." To
The
someone.
same guy, because
No,
they interviewed this guy on
but that wasn't
for
Jermaine
the
O'Neal because he
documentary.
flew in to punch. I'm telling you,
Yeah, so
Jermaine
this guy
flew
jumped
in,
out,
but that guy
and then Artest was like,
jumped
"Oh,
out, and
like,
I think it
okay,
was
you're here to
Artest who
fight."
was like, "Oh, you
And
want to
then
fight?"
Jermaine
Or
O'Neal comes out of nowhere with the
that's what I'm saying.
sliding punch,
Yeah.
But the guy, they interview that guy on it, and of course he got wheeled out
Just
on a
comes out of
stretcher
nowhere.
and
Yeah.
stuff, and he was like playing
Yeah.
up the whole thing. But he was super salty about
Yeah.
it, and he was like, "Yeah, it was a cheap shot.
Yeah, of course.
I wasn't, I wasn't even looking, and he came out of nowhere, and he just came and punched me." Like, and I can't remember who was talking about it on the documentary, but they were saying, oh, I think it was Jalen
Cheap
Rose
shot.
or Reggie Miller, that if
All right.
Jermaine O'Neal hadn't have slipped, if he didn't slip the way that he did to miss him so that he didn't fully connect, like, that was probably the best thing that ever happened to him in his life, because Jermaine O'Neal very well could have killed that guy. Like,
Yeah, that was
coming in out of nowhere and then just full speed.
Yeah.
Jermaine O'Neal is like 6'11",
Yeah.
and this is like a tiny
Yeah,
dude,
of
like
course.
he's like 5'10", I don't know, like maybe less. Jermaine O'Neal just comes out of nowhere to punch his whole face off.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
It's not.
probably the
It's not.
worst
Well, that you've seen maybe.
fan or
Well,
sports
there's a
brawl
story about this
that I've seen.
Brazilian
No?
soccer
What's the
team,
worst?
like a minor
Well,
league
what's the worst
soccer
one?
team, and there was some kind of incident, and a referee stabbed a player. So, like, there's some kind of altercation between the referee and the player. The referee stabs the player. The player ends up dying.
Dang.
And then the crowd is like starting to get unruly and like starting to come on the field. And then
I heard about that.
somebody beheads that ref and puts their head on a spike and then plants it down in the center of the pitch, as they say. That would be the worst. That would probably be, I would call that the worst. I mean,
How do you feel about that?
that's love for your team right there.
How do you feel about that? Because when you were describing it, it sounded like you were enjoying a movie or something. It was not.
Yeah. The crazy part that I
It was
think
crazy. No, that's super disturbing.
about.
Yeah, that's man.
The
Yeah,
crazy,
I'm
crazy
glad I
thing
never
is
heard of that
either
one. I thought
somebody
I heard about it, but when you
brought
said all
like a
that,
machete or
nope,
something,
didn't hear about this one.
or they left and went and got it and then came back. They're like, this is taking a turn. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
So yeah,
Let me hit up the
there's a whole
7-Eleven real quick.
documentary series on Netflix that was about crazy soccer stories of just crazy things happening about soccer, because soccer is, insane. There's some crazy about these.
Oh,
It was a
yeah, I've heard. Yeah, like,
what?
yeah, I've definitely heard
What do you mean
some
Olympic
stories
Games?
about like Olympic
What's
teams and
happening?
players or whatever.
Doing what to each other?
Like Olympics, huh?
Oh,
No,
oh yeah. When
like if
they'll
they
turn on them
lose,
or something,
like when they lose, their country
or
loses and
shame
stuff
them forever.
because of the player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I need to chill out on the
right.
documentaries. It seems like, but you should watch that Malice at the Palace one. It's really good. Yeah. Hey, I'm just getting back in
Yeah,
just for
I've
that.
been gearing up to subscribe
I
to
had to get
Netflix
out. I
again
had to
for
sacrifice something.
things
I had
like
too many
that.
streaming services. I had to,
Yeah.
consolidate my life. Which one?
Yeah, I just canceled one. I just canceled another one.
Okay.
Let's see, I canceled DAZN, the boxing one. I
Okay.
canceled um Hulu.
What were you watching on Hulu?
Canceled Hulu. That's it. Those were the only cancels this month.
Oh, okay.
I had it for
Yeah, like the escape room.
movies. Like I didn't have any specific. It was just like round robin,
Like the escape room.
Like, oh, what's resubscribe? Huh? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Nah, it was just next in line to be
Yeah.
subscribed to. Next is gonna be
Disney has it.
Disney. I mean, not Disney.
You gotta watch.
Netflix. Maybe Disney after that. Because I haven't seen the Loki. Yeah, so I'm gonna do Netflix.
Are you gonna watch Suicide Squad? The
and
Suicide
Disney.
Squad, as it's called now.
And who knows? Who knows where to go from there?
Yeah, it's definitely better than the first.
I I will say that I heard it's actually pretty good. It's the second one, right? I heard.
Oh, what'd
Yeah,
you
that's
think
what I
about that?
heard. I haven't seen the first, but
Yeah.
oh, that's what I just saw. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. As I was thinking about Margot Robbie.
What'd you think about the movie?
She's in Suicide Squad, right? Yeah, yeah. So I saw that movie.
Yeah.
It was cool. It wasn't nothing special. It was definitely a Quentin Tarantino-esque movie.
It
Yeah,
it was a lot of
it was just
movie
cool. It wasn't
for not a lot
for
of.
me. It wasn't like, oh my god, this is a great movie. Nah,
Like it was just
it
like
was just cool.
it was. I don't know what's it. 2 hours, right? And then it's like, what happened? Yeah.
But that's why I say. That's why I say is
Yeah.
That's Quentin
you-
Tarantino movies,
If you were gonna pick a
films,
Tarantino
whatever.
movie, like
He does that. But
what would you say your favorite?
but it was
towards the top of your list. Okay.
I gotta go with Pulp Fiction. Just because of the quotes in there. There's a lot of good quotes in there
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
some
What about
some
Inglorious
really really good
Bastards?
actors. I'm a big Django fan
Yeah.
too. I like that movie a lot, but for sure, it's cool. I wasn't as
Yeah.
big on that film because I mean I liked it. I've seen it multiple times, so
What about
I
Kill
liked
Bill?
it, but I
Seen
wasn't
those
as
ones?
high on it as uh, Pulp Fiction and Django.
Yeah.
I saw the first one time. It was cool. I probably need to re up
Yeah.
on it, like because I know how popular it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. She's very
Um,
yeah, she's whatever.
but I can't say that. That's with Uma Thurman, right?
But
Yeah.
at the time, it seems like that Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Mm.
Dragon style was like really popular, you know, where they're like running on the telephone wires and they're skipping along on top of the rooftops.
I never saw that.
Yeah, but not superheroes. Superheroes aren't skipping
It's
on the rooftops. They're not like
it's almost superhero ish, like stunt.
they're not.
Oh, my fault. Don't let me talk about
They're not
superheroes
doing the
in a
same thing.
bad light with you. It's like
They're just
stunt.
these movies. They're like
What?
floating
They're not
along the
what?
rooftops.
I
That's
know
not
they're
what they're
nothing
doing.
like that. They could ever be. It could never be Batman. I get it. I'm saying that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. I know what you're saying.
Why?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Why?
Well,
But
to me, Inglorious Bastards is kind of like that. It has some elements of that because of the
yeah, yeah.
scenes, like sometimes even
It
Django, stuff
is.
like
I think
that, like
he's
there's like
going for
certain
he's going for
exaggerated
like
type
a certain
movies.
desired
I guess you could
effect,
say that's
and
just
then he
like a
just goes
Quentin Tarantino
overboard
thing.
with it. You know, I just never got into those kind of martial arts movies. You know, because they were pretty popular at the
Yeah,
time. Like Jet Li, all the Jet Li's
yeah.
movies are kind of that style. You know, like he's hooked up to. Oh, you're not. No.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to
Of
lie.
Jet Li, I don't watch them either.
I never was a fan of any of Jet Li films. I just was. It was just like, why? I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know. It was
maybe,
weird. I don't know what it was about. I guess he was too serious
but Jackie Chan's not hooked up to the.
for me.
He's not
Like I
hooked
don't
up to
know.
the
Like
shit.
Jackie Chan
Yeah, yeah, he
movie.
does.
He had a little comedic. He had a comedic
Yeah,
factor to him. Hooked. You know what I mean? Like he had a little bit more like
yeah,
like
that's just his style, though.
little
You know,
a
his
little bit of
personality.
comedic factor to him or whatever it is. Humorous. Like I don't know. I don't know what it was. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, Jet
I
Li
just
was a
always
little
thought it
too
was
I don't know why. I was
kind of
never a
dumb
big
that you
Jet
could
Li
tell.
film guy. I
Like
don't
you
know
could
why.
tell that he's hooked up to like the crane or whatever, and it just lifts him up, and he jumps all high and shit. Yeah, you know, like Jackie Chan wasn't hooked up to anything. Like he did a bunch of his own stunts.
The
You know, like,
string.
and I'm not saying that you have to do that, but it just when they for a while that style was to really
Yeah.
overdo it so that it looked super obvious, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I can't even I can't even honestly, I never even
You know
watched
what
Jet Li films really like that.
it
So
reminds
I
me
couldn't even
of
tell you like, oh yeah, for sure
laugh
he was doing
tracks
too
like for
much
comedy
of
shows.
whatever because
Like when a show has a laugh track, it just kind of like I'm just kind of done with it. Like I'm good. No thanks. Like I just don't need it in there. And then the same thing with that type of like those martial arts movies where you can tell that they're just hooked up to this machine that's dangling them all over the place. Like once I see that that's the style that it is, like I'm out. I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to the theater. Oh yeah, I've done it maybe
you're leaving the theater.
maybe 3 times,
You've done that a couple times.
but it wasn't out of anger. It was just like, okay, I'm
That's a
done.
lot. That's man.
But no, not for Jet Li. I would never go to the theater to watch Jet Li.
You left it. Oh,
Like
for that one.
that's even
Got you.
too far. But I
For
definitely
a Jet Li film.
I walked out of Mr. 3000,
Okay.
Bernie Mac. Because it was just bad, and I was just like,
Okay.
I don't need to stay here. That's fine.
Why? You thought it was corny?
I walked out of I think
Okay.
Clerks.
I never saw it.
Was it Clerks 2? Yeah, I can't remember which one it was.
I fell asleep with.
I can't
I
remember
fell
why I
asleep
went
on one
to
of those
see it, but I just
at the crib,
done.
not at the theater.
That's a good, yeah,
You're e-
for sure.
You're either walking
If it's
out or
not
you're
something
falling
that
asleep
I'm
at
really not
least
into
25
or that
percent of the
I'm
time.
really trying to see, even
Yeah.
greater chance.
You
I walked out?
said you walked out on
No, I
Star
didn't walk
Wars.
out. I tapped out
Yeah,
mentally.
because he said droid, please.
Yeah, I checked out mentally for that.
I swore you said that.
And I'll stand by that.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I've never walked out. I've never walked out of a film.
Yeah.
I've seen people walk out because
Yeah.
the best is when they it's a film that they're not expecting, and then they're like, "Oh, what?" And they're like, "Oh, no," and they
Oh, okay.
leave. That happened with what's it?
Yeah.
Super Bad. I saw Super
Yeah.
Bad in theater.
Yeah, I
There was
mean,
so many
I've
parents with
never done that
kids,
really
and
of
they
like,
instantly
oh my
walked
god, this
out
is
like
so
within the
much more
first 10 minutes.
inappropriate than I thought it was going to be. Like I've never done that. I've walked out for like, god, this sucks. This sucks, and I got like another hour and a half. Like I can do something
No.
else. Fuck it. I'll give up on the $7. Or I have before.
Yeah.
I have before, but
Do you go into another room, another theater, another film? Yeah, if it's that, I think the reason I kind of don't remember doing it is because I've done that. Like if it's a film like maybe
yeah.
then then I'll go to like I'll try and like go into another film.
Yeah. Yeah, to walk halfway into a movie is
But
not
sometimes it's
fun
tough
either.
because you're like, oh, what's going on?
But yeah, I'm not tied down. Like, oh no, I paid the money. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sit here for the whole thing. Like, no, if it sucks and it's obvious that I've decided that it sucks, then I don't mind. I don't mind leaving.
Yeah, but I also you kind of gotta. I'm with that, but you kind of gotta let the art play out too. Like I think, like it, what if the film was meant to be like on the back half, like a great movie or something? I don't know. I I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but I think a lot of
Yeah.
times I'll kind of
How
hang
often do
on for a little
you
bit.
do you
longer
turn
just
them
to
off?
see if
Like,
maybe okay it starts picking
or
up
you
or
know, like
whatever.
if
I
you're
don't
watching a
know.
movie at home and
And
you
then
start it and you're like,
it's
this
like
sucks. I'm out.
almost yeah. Um, I'd say yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say like
After how long, too? Because I
I'd
will
say
stop
like a
something.
quarter of the
I mean,
films.
it could be
I'll be like,
5 minutes,
this ain't it.
and I'll see something, and
It's a
I'm
wrap.
like, nope, I'm out. Nope. No, because
Hmm.
there's some shit. If they're letting it slide, if they're
Nah,
letting
you
that
gotta let it
slide,
play out. You gotta
then
let
like,
the
what
art.
else
You
is
gotta
this
let the
movie gonna
art
be?
play out. You can't be.
Like a shitty line or shitty special effects or something, you know, like
Nah, you gotta let it. Sure, if that was the case, I probably would have walked out of
yeah.
some of the greatest movies of all time, because some of them start off very slow. So I gotta let it play out at least an hour,
Yeah.
45 minutes, an hour, and then if it's like, man, I got another
I probably
probably
won't have to worry
hour
about
or
it too
two
much
of
longer
this,
because
nah,
I
it's a
don't know if
wrap.
I'm ever
I'm out.
going to see a movie again. I don't know. You know, everything's on a streaming service or, you know, there's some type of lockdown so you can't even go in and watch a movie anyways. So I've totally gotten over the idea of going to the movies at this point.
For now, I think once at some point, if things open up, the the um the movie
Right.
industry will dictate, all right, this is like we're gonna send things back
Right.
to the theaters because that's where they make the most money,
Um
or that's how you know
all
what I
right.
mean.
Are
That's how
you
they really get
going
most
to
bang for their buck. So
first of all, are you gonna watch the next Jake Paul fight? Jake Paul, Tyrone Woodley. You'll Zach it.
I won't pay for it, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, we should find somebody to
I'll
help you
stream
out.
it somehow. Yeah, I'll find a link somewhere from someone. Yeah, for sure. Because
No,
I
no,
can't pay
I
for
wouldn't pay
that.
for it, but I do want to watch it though.
Would you? Would you pay for it or would you watch it?
I'm captivated by that one thing. You know, like
Yeah, I want to watch it.
I just
I
want
want
to
to
see
see
him
him
get
getting
knocked
knocked
out.
out. I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
it. You know.
That's it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah.
This is how people think of Floyd. I get it now. People really wanted to see Floyd get knocked out. Yeah, and that's why they would want to see the fights.
His list though. So Jake Paul
Yeah, so
came out. He
I'm
did
intrigued.
his little video, right? Did his little video and went through his list, and talked about all the guys that he was gonna battle. But some of the people on the list were already on there. Yeah,
Is he
yeah,
rapping
yeah.
now?
Who's going after next?
Jake Paul's hit list. Gibb, done. Nate Robinson, done. Ben
Oh, his
Askren,
hit
done.
list?
Tyron Woodley, August 29th. Canelo, scared. Nate or Nick Diaz, whichever one wants it. Camaro, Disney Channel, Usman. Timmy Fury, Conor McGregor, KSI, Gervonta Davis, Floyd's son, and maybe Logan Paul. Question mark. I'll see y'all August 29th because next.
So that last one, his own brother. Yeah, question mark. Maybe we'll see.
His brother?
Mom would get mad.
Question mark.
But seeing the way that these fights have been, like the Ben Askren
I know.
one, where he kind of just
Um,
connected with him a little bit, and then they were like, "Fight, that's it, fight's over." I'm sure it would probably
mhm.
be something like that, of like one of them would barely make contact, and then they call it, One of the brothers. No, one of the. They'd be like, "Stop it!" Whenever somebody gets punched once,
One of who?
and then they
What are
just
you
stop
talking
it.
about? Oh, this next fight? Oh, got it.
No, yeah,
They fought each other. I would absolutely
too much clown
not
show.
watch that at all. At all.
What about the possibility of them doing the
Yeah,
same?
there's
same
nothing that would make
moment.
me watch that. I would not watch that.
Yeah, like that one.
I'll catch knockout. Yeah. Nope.
What
No.
what
Not
about
at
him
all.
versus
I'm not
Gervonta
interested in that
Davis?
at all. Yeah, man. I don't. I just. Why call out someone who's 70 pounds
Yeah,
lighter than you?
yeah.
60 at least. Like he's like 190. He's like 200, right? Or what was it? Yeah, Gervonta Davis is like 135
Yeah.
pounds. He
It's
fought
it's
last fight was like
it's
140.
weird that he would put
like,
that on the list, and then he's also got. I mean, he's also got
Why?
Canelo on there. Who
What do
Canelo is
you?
bigger, but he's still not as big as. Yeah, like he's got nobody who's actually the same size.
Still not. Yeah, he's 20. He's 20
Yeah.
pounds less.
Oh,
30
yeah.
maybe. 30
But Canelo
pounds
wouldn't
lighter.
even
Just
entertain
way
them.
shorter, but Canelo would.
I feel like he won't even speak their name.
Destroy him. There's no way that goes down.
Like he wouldn't even waste his breath to say their names.
No, he wouldn't entertain it. Yeah, I like he's not. If someone may ask him and he may rebuttal, like a reporter, maybe what about and he
then
may
Ryan
say something
Garcia
like,
would be like, "I do.
we don't do that over here."
Hey guys,
like, you know what I mean? Like, but he won't. He won't.
You guys
be,
want to hang out later?
He won't be the. Yeah. Yeah.
He put Conor McGregor,
Right.
who.
Nah, I just.
That is the one that really. And
Who else
I'm
was on
McGregor,
there? He put Conor McGregor
that
on
makes
there.
sense to me. Like you've been getting your
I could see that
ass
happening
whooped in the UFC. Like you could come in here, but at the same time, his value's so low now because he has been losing. They could build it up. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Nah, they could. That his name's still there.
He doesn't want that.
Yeah,
he does not
easily build it up. Yeah, that name. His name's still there. He
have
put
one
Nate
of them
and Nick Diaz
with a face full of blood, smiling at him for 5 rounds.
He doesn't want that smoke.
Just like drinking and spitting blood like a psychopath. Yeah, he does not want that shit.
Yeah. They actually.
Well, that's all they do in the UFC. They don't go to.
They train boxing too. They train boxing with legit dudes. Like I know. Oh, is that true? I didn't know. Oh, okay. I know they train with like Andre Ward and stuff like that. So I know they're they're not. He doesn't want those problems.
Kamaru
He
Usman.
put someone else on there.
No,
there was some Disney
middleweight.
Who was that? I don't know who that was.
Welterweight.
He said something.
I can't remember
Disney.
what weight class.
Who's that?
Not light heavyweight, I don't think. But the UFC champ. Who I don't know. He's an all around guy from what I've seen. He's not like a striker only. Like he doesn't seem like he's just one lane really. So I don't know how he would do boxing wise, the guy's a freak athlete and he's a great UFC fighter, so that's no contest. But as far as boxing, I don't know. And he's smaller than Jake Paul, so that's not really that. Maybe he could possibly do that one, but there's no reason for Usman to do it. He's the champ. He's been the champ. He's defended his title a couple times. Like, there's no reason for him to do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
200
I
pounds.
don't. Okay, so Jake Paul is what? Are we gonna say he's 200 pounds? I think that's right. So he's obviously. I haven't heard one time where he's. So that would be.
Yeah, I don't know if there
like
is
if he was up,
cruiserweight, though,
if he was under
UFC.
that, it'd be cruiserweight, right? Obviously,
talking
above
about
that is
if they're
heavyweight. Well, I'm saying in boxing, what he's do. Yeah. So I mean,
I think the
has
Diaz
he even
brothers
called out a
are-
light heavyweight? He's not.
To
He
me,
doesn't want
they
those
seem
type of
like they're
problems.
bigger, because even when
Like-
McGregor fought, yeah, and he had
They're
to
up
come
there?
down. Yeah, so he came down a little bit, and they're taller. They're definitely taller. So I think maybe they're closer to
There's a catch weight,
6
right?
foot. So even more so, if there's anybody on that list that he, would not want to do, obviously Canelo, but Canelo or the Diaz brothers, they would fuck him up bad, which would be hilarious. But I don't think he would do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just can't see. I don't know. We'll see. He was trying to say.
Why?
He was like, Canelo was fighting cab drivers. That's right. That's what he was calling him out. I don't know. He was so he was saying Canelo was 10-0.
Oh, he's comparing himself to Canelo.
Someone who was like 0 and something, or 0 and 1, or 0 and 0, or something like that. Yeah. He was like when I 10-0 fought him. And it's funny because Canelo turned pro when he was like 14 or 16 years old, fighting grown ass men.
Yeah, you try to frame it
in Mexico. Like, it's not the same. Like, however you try to like compare, like, and be like, I'm doing, like, it's not the same. He was a boy fighting like grown ass men, and like, any way you slice it is like, you can't take away like what he's done. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just it's interesting. Like, you get past Woodley.
trying.
If he gets past Woodley, then it's like, okay, you have to keep getting a name. You have to keep getting a name, because that's basically what he's
and it really should
himself. Well,
people are gonna
exactly.
want
So it's like, all right,
to be
you
like
want to keep
better,
keep doing
or more
this,
skilled
then
boxers. Like,
you're
every
gonna
time
get this
it's like,
work.
okay, so you beat Ben Askren. Who cares? Okay, now let's see if you can beat Woodley. Okay, so you got him. Now let's see if you can get, Yeah.
At some point, the best boxer I've seen is Roy Jones Jr. The best boxer I've ever seen. Like, me, like Ali, I wasn't even watching boxing. Like, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, all those people. Like, I've seen Mike Tyson, I've seen Floyd, I've seen all them. The best one I've ever seen is Roy Jones Jr. And he got knocked out past his prime, but he got knocked out. And you're not.
I mean, he's already made
Jr.
enough.
So
money
at
to
some
where
point,
if it does
it's
come
gonna
crashing
come
down,
crashing
for him
down.
He's already made so
And
much
just
money off of it, anyways. But
yes,
yeah,
but yeah, 100% in a
yeah, he
normal
lives
world.
off of that.
But he
Right.
lives in this clout Trollville where he's the president of Trollville. So if you get knocked
Yeah.
the fuck out,
Somebody's coming for your spot.
your term in Trollville is over. You sit on the sidelines, buddy. It's a wrap. The memes, the everything comes with that because
Right.
you decided to be
Right.
in this little lane. So now you got to get these knockout memes or whatever the case is. So that's what I'm saying. Like you
Yeah.
want to take that lane, you're gonna
Yeah.
suffer the
So we'll
consequences
see.
when it's
I'm
when you
definitely
have to
planning on
exit that lane.
zacking it.
You know. So
I gotta be careful because he I think he was upset that I was shitting on the food. Because we were talking about the barbecue food. So when I was talking to him the other day, he was making dinner for the game. He showed me the food. He showed me a picture of the food that they made, and it looked good. It was like
oh, he
chicken
was
and
hurt.
fish and vegetables and stuff. And he was like, "See, I don't have bullshit food over here." But it looked good. So respect for that.
All right. Respect after you shitted on it. All right.
Are you you're up to speed on this celebrities not showering? I don't know. I think it I don't know.
Yeah, what
I think it started with
what's going on?
was it
Why
Ashton
is
Kutcher and Mila
is it
Kunis?
like
They
a
said something
cancel
about
situation? Like
basically
Me
not
Too or something?
bathing their children.
Or Me Neither?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, from what I mean,
Yeah, and then of course that probably
yeah, I did
downward
hear
spiraled
that
into some
that they were like the first ones to set
thing
it
about
off, right?
child abuse or something. I don't know.
Um
No, I don't know. But so there's a bunch of people that are coming out saying that they don't
yeah,
wash
there's a
their
bunch
kids.
of people coming out now. Oh, really?
Oh, that the people themselves don't.
I thought it was like that they don't wash up. Yeah. Like I've seen, that where it's like where they say that
Yeah.
they don't
Maybe
shower
they have
until they need to or something.
maybe they have
Or
some type
that
of
they
better
stink
quality
or
water
something
that
like
makes
that.
them stink less.
Hey, what's going on with
I'm
that?
not sure.
Um yeah, that's a weird that's a weird
I
cuz
mean,
you
unless
can't
you're
really
doing less,
like
and you're just like
there's
not
no like ways
active, maybe
around like
no.
not showering. There's no like, oh, I'm good. Like
But what if you're not sweating?
nope. Nope. No. You're doing less. Shoot, you can speak for yourself. I can't co-sign the not showering. Yeah, that's it's just a weird lane to be like I'm coming out. I'm coming out into this it's like Me
Yeah, like
Neither
yeah,
instead of
you're
Me
right.
Too.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's like the Me Neither movement. I don't know. Do you think that do you think some
they
of
were
them
just, like,
are,
jumping
and
on
they're
a
just like, okay,
bandwagon?
cool, I'm really gonna shower.
Maybe, who knows? I
I
don't know
really
why they
do
do
take
the things that
showers
they do.
often, but
Is there anything
I'm
that you feel like you would jump in on the me
yeah.
neither bandwagon? I know for a
It's
while,
such a weird.
and I hate to admit this, but I was, like, kicking sand on my dog's poop when I would take him for a walk. And I wasn't so, you know, if somebody had said, "Yeah, I don't clean mine up," then I would have said, yeah, me neither." I'm not proud of that, by the way. I mean,
well,
sand for
where
me
is
because
it?
I'm over here by the beach, but I'm saying,
Where is
is
it?
there something
You saying
that
kicking
you would
sand
admit
or
as like
dirt? Sidebar. If someone goes back into each episode, they can literally piece together where the fuck you live.
Well, if there's anybody who is that involved and
you
really
have literally
enjoys
given
podcasts that
clues
much,
throughout this
you
whole
can find us at
thing.
livefromoxcity.com. That's our
But
Patreon.
anyways, I
Please
feel
sign
like
up before you murder me.
Yeah, I see. You see the dog. You see people with dogs. I get what you're saying, because you definitely see people with dogs and they're just like kind of looking and waiting for you. Their dog is basically pooping,
they're staring into your eyes.
Currently in the moment or whatever, and they're like looking to see if you like leave.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah, because they don't want to pick it up.
You don't care what.
Me, I don't care.
You don't care if people pick it up.
I mean,
even if it's just
fertilizer,
fertilizer
right?
on the sidewalk.
Fertilizer. Okay, if it's on the sidewalk, nah. If it's like literally in the middle of the sidewalk where someone like might slip and fall like it's a banana peel, I'm cool.
What about
you gotta pick that up. But if it's on dirt, I'm cool. Do your thing.
Not that I know.
Yeah, nah. I don't think it can fertilize the sand, right?
Yeah. What?
Nah. Speaking of dogs, you think have you ever heard people when they like talk about rappers and they're not like people that aren't hip
Somebody who
hop,
calls Drake Drizzy,
and they call rappers by like kind of the wrong name? Like, okay, obviously when you talk about Snoop Dogg, I'm saying like
okay.
So someone who,
but if you
people are calling Snoop Doggy
right?
Dog, like most people are gonna call him Snoop Dogg or Snoop or whatever, but no one's calling him like Mr. Dog or something. No, like I'm saying like Mr. Dog, or like they're just like they don't know what to call him.
Full legal,
you know what
artist
I mean?
name,
Or
which is Snoop Doggy Dog. Instead, you know.
Yeah, like Snoop Doggy Dog. Yeah,
that was weird for a while.
Or like 50 Cent, when people were like 50 Cent. And it's just like, man, this is super, like, it's just cringe, you know what I mean? Or like or if they don't know how to address the person and it's like a hip hop artist and it's like Busta Rhymes or something like that. And they're like, "So, Mr. Rhymes."
Yeah, Mr. Z, how can we help you? Yeah, how can we help you? I don't know why.
Like Jay-Z, like, "Mr. Z, how are you?" It's like, what?
Yeah, it's
it's very awkward, and like it's like, okay, you have no like
you're
hip-hop.
just not
I get what would you like, you're not Your
Yeah.
ear is not at
But I
all.
mean,
to the
even
hip-hop.
if you're, it's in sports
You're not tuned
too,
in. You're
or
not a part of it at
whatever.
all.
Like, hi, Mr.
It's just funny.
LBJ. Like, like just saying what you think that you should say.
Yeah.
How do you feel about people who make their own nicknames?
Right.
Like the one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they kind of have to. They do it like right before the fight.
Many
Like, "What's
boxers
my
make their
name?
own nicknames.
I need a name." Like, the Tornado. Go get him, champ.
Yeah. You're the Bomber.
His grandson. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Muhammad Ali's grandson, he was
Hyping him up.
Here's what I'll say on this, and I'll leave it alone. Man, ESPN is doing a great job. Oh my god. I think I saw that guy. He was my Uber driver. The guy But nah, he it was cool. He got in the ring. He was on ESPN for his pro debut, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you saying? Oh, you're saying about nicknames? Kate, like when pandemic, or what was it, playoff P and stuff like that.
I think Kobe.
Yeah, you kind
I
of
don't know
gotta
if anybody really
let someone make it for you.
Started calling him Black Mamba, or if he just kind of made that up. Yeah. But I mean, it worked. It worked.
I think he did make it up.
But it also doesn't work in the same way of like...
He definitely made it up.
Like Greek Freak.
It definitely worked. That's true.
Like Greek Freak is just like, it just works out. It just kind of landed.
I guess it's
the
who
way
you
that
are.
it did.
Yeah, it's who you are.
It's authentic. It's genuine. But like, what was the guy? Who was the guy? Ruben Patterson. Remember him? The Kobe stopper.
Yeah.
He was the self-proclaimed Kobe stopper. Yeah. That was a bad choice.
He gave himself the... Yeah. He gave himself that.
Oh, that's what that was his name?
Right. Sasha Vujacic.
That sounds right.
The Machine.
Yeah, it's a...
I think he named himself the Machine. Yeah, it's... Sometimes I guess you can make your own... But you gotta back it up. Like Floyd Money Mayweather wouldn't work if he was broke. The fight. Yeah, you gotta right. You gotta back it up.
Yeah, I think sports writers or
who's the people that should
for team sports.
Is it the newspaper or the sports option. Writers?
Yeah,
like the high school
coaches or whatever.
Teammates, that's true.
In the aviation,
that's very true.
Community, like you run into pilots and then you hear, like pilots have call signs, and so like there's usually a story behind a call sign. Yeah, Maverick, Goose, Viper, whatever, all these guys.
Maverick.
There you go.
Viper.
I can't remember.
Hollywood.
No, they're still waiting for it to come out. They're like still waiting to release it.
Did that movie come out? Did the second one come?
Yeah. But I work. I know a bunch of guys.
Tom Cruise in it?
Military, like ex-military.
He's
pilots.
in it, right? Okay.
So you can tell the difference between Navy guys and Air Force guys, because Air Force pilots will have names like Viper or Scar or Raptor, or like something pretty, pretty cool. Something that sounds like a call sign for a fighter pilot. And then the Navy guys are always like, dumbass, poop, or like, or stupid, You know, like it's always some kind of maybe no.
Damn, I want to know. Want to know who named themselves stupid?
Not exactly those. Not exactly
Hey,
those, but from
hey,
what
what do
they
you go
are,
by?
they're mostly like
Stupid.
goofy. You
You
know,
can
it's
call me
like,
stupid.
oh,
Like,
somebody
damn.
peed his
Okay.
pants in the flight, so we call him wet legs or what, you know, like whatever. It's like some kind of- but
Hey, yo.
but it, we were
Jesus.
told why it is
Oh
that way,
man.
of why like the Navy guys
Okay.
will,
I
because
was
they'll do
unaware
something
of that.
dumb or whatever, you know, and then they get the name based off of that. But from what we heard, and this was from a Navy guy, so who knows if it's true, but he said that the Air Force pilots, like the teachers, the instructors in their school, would put all these names on the board, and then they would auction off the names for money. And say like, all right, who wants to be Viper? You know, all right, it's going to cost you $1,000 or whatever. You know, like, so these guys are going to pick their call sign for basically the rest of their career. So they're giving them an opportunity to choose something instead of being, you know, dumbass or stupid or poop. And so they auction off the names instead of the other branches. But yeah.
Damn.
But I've always wanted a call sign.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh yeah?
It's hard
What
not to
would you
just
name
go with
yourself?
Batman. Because that was my strategy for Dungeons and Dragons when I played that
Man.
one time.
Okay.
I played Dungeons and Dragons one time with people, and I just kept saying that I was Batman.
What?
Like I didn't really know how to play, so it's a game where they make up the scenario basically, and then
Okay, was that a board game?
you just
That was
kind
a
of
board
make
game?
stuff up. You know, it's like, my knight showed up, and now what are you gonna do? Then I have to choose something. I release a, you know, a frozen spell, so your knight can't move. And then somebody says, no, my knight has a frozen potion. He can't get frozen. And then,
Jesus.
you know, and then he goes back and
That's what that was? Dang, man.
definitely heard of it more than
Hey,
once.
it was super popular. I
Nice.
definitely heard of it like more than once. Is what? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's definitely a thing, or at least
I
it
just
was.
didn't know exactly what it was, but
I
hey, it
always
is what it
I always
is.
put that and Magic, like Magic the Gathering or whatever it is. I always put those in the same. Yeah, put those in the same category. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cards.
Yeah.
The cards, right?
Hey, so I wanted to ask you if you ever try to guess who a vehicle belongs to, like if you get to the store or somewhere and you see a vehicle, you see a car or whatever, or a motorcycle, whatever. And then do you ever kind of try to play the game where you try to guess who it belongs to when you go into that place?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good game. Yeah, it's a good way to judge people internally.
No, I never tried that.
Well, I mean,
You
that's
did
why
that?
you got to pick something that stands out a lot.
Okay. What if there's like way too many cars?
Yeah.
Are you saying one car? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
so you're going through the store, like,
No,
looking
you never
at
done it?
everyone?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. No, I can't say that I have. But how did it? How?
Well,
So
it
you do
works
that,
out. It works out best if you're leaving
and
at
then
the
you
same
wait
time.
for them to come outside, or you have to leave at the same. Like, I don't understand how.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's not,
But
or if it's not, then
so it
you
has
either
to be
don't
that.
know who
It
it
has to
is,
be that
then you're
person
wrong. I mean, you really
that
only
you're
get one
guessing,
guess in this game.
right?
Yeah.
Then what? Then
Yeah.
you're
Or
wrong.
make a separate
Okay, I
trip
got
to
it.
go see
And you have
what
to
the
leave at the
results are.
same
You know.
time as that person. See, I don't like this game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, how
needless to say, I've
confident do you?
never played it
How
because
confident would you be
I
in
just
playing the game if you showed up to the store
there's no reason.
and you saw a big truck, really big truck, like
Uh,
the wheels are probably, I don't know, I don't know, 3 feet tall or something like that, maybe more. The wheels are enormous. There were 2 flagpoles on it that were
mhm,
probably at least 7 to
mhm,
8 feet with American flags on them. The bed of the truck was completely open. It had like a canopy on it, and then like some kind of couch area where you could sit in the back. And then there were a bunch of words. They weren't bumper stickers, but they just looked like almost custom bumper stickers. So basically, things that no one would print in mass production. You had them custom,
mm.
custom made. How confident do you feel about going into the store and identifying that person?
Mm.
California.
What state are we in? Oh, very confident.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, very confident for California.
See, that's where you're wrong.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where, well,
you
that's
could
where
pretty
you
much
start.
you
That's
just
where you
look for
start.
that red hat.
And that's
you look
where I
for
started.
the no mask. You look for maybe
Well, you really got to open
maybe
yourself up to judging people.
yeah, mullet. I don't know. You kind of just it is what it is, you know. I try not to I try not to I try not to I try not to play that game ever
But
because it's
it's
a
really satisfying
super
when you're right,
judgy
though.
game. but yeah, it would stick out more in California. I guess, yeah. I'm not jumping for joy. Like, I
Yeah,
see.
Yeah, I saw
But
that
yeah,
truck
I guess.
and I wondered
Did this happen to you
if I
recently, or
could
you
pick
just
that
it just
the
popped?
the
Okay,
driver out
I
in
got
the
it.
store. Because the thing is, when you you have a certain type of vehicle or clothes or whatever, you might not be, you're saying it in so many words of like kind of what you're about, because some of the things are so over the top that it kind of becomes synonymous with something, you know? So if you have a giant truck to where your truck is probably twice as tall as a
Yeah.
normal sized vehicle, like a car, and you have giant flagpole or like tall flagpoles on it with American flags, you're trying to say to who you're telling people, like kind of where you're at, right? Like that's kind of a, it's the same thing like as if you have any other kind of merchandise and you're kind of showing like what you're about. Sure.
Yeah, your
No, it shouldn't.
allegiance or whatever. But which is crazy because
Yeah,
American
it shouldn't.
flag
But I
should
mean, but
not
it
be
is,
the symbol
works
of
out my theory worked out. But anyways,
You know what I mean?
I
It's
went in,
crazy.
I saw the no mask, and so that put it in a category for me. Like, okay, so I think we're in business here. And then just for food.
What did you go in the store for? First of all, I could only imagine. See if whoever is watching the surveillance footage, like watching you, they must think you're about to
But
rob
I wasn't, because it was such an
or do something
easy
crazy because you're
and
probably
quick
looking at people like super crazy.
process. It was just bam, bam, bam. Like, and I was on the money. That's all. I just wanted to. I judged someone accurately.
Got it. I got you.
So, but you should try it sometime.
Congrats.
If you go and you go somewhere, you park somewhere, and you see a car that's like crazy, or you see one of those the tricycle motorcycle things, you know. Well, it's time to do it back.
You know, in every racist mind, this is what they do. This is
Okay, well.
It was that one.
Well, like
he was the one who did it. I already
like I was
know
saying,
it.
if you're interested in trying out a really cool, special new game, when you go to the store, you go any place, try it out. We'll find out a name for it. And I would like to find out if other people do that, by the way, or if I'm just a shitty person. But yeah, play the game. Check us out at livefromoxcity.com. That's the special Patreon nightcap episodes that we're about to get into right now. So yeah, check it out. We appreciate you for listening.
Peace.